Oh Lord, we need your word. Judges chapter number 7. I'm going to read from the New King James Version of the Holy Writ, Judges chapter 7, verse 1 through 7, and it reads as follows. Then Jerubbaal, that is Gideon, everybody say Gideon. All right, that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about Gideon. And all the people who were with him rose early and encamped beside the well of Harod, so that the camp of the Midianites was on the north side of them by the hill of Moreh in the valley. And the Lord said to Gideon, the people who are with you are too many for me to give the Midianites into their hands. Lest Israel claim, Lord have mercy, glory for itself against me, saying, my own hands has saved me. How many know people take credit for God's doing? And so sometimes God got to make stuff happen just to prove it ain't you. Now therefore proclaim in the hearing of the people, saying, whoever is fearful and afraid, let him turn and depart at once from Mount Gilead. 22,000 of the people returned, and 10,000 remained. But the Lord said to Gideon, the people are still too many. Bring them down to the water, and I will test them for you there. Then it will be that of whom I say to you, this one shall go with you, the same shall go with you. Of whomever I say to you, this one shall not go with you, the same shall not go. So he brought the people down to the water, and the Lord said to Gideon, everyone who laps from the water with his tongue as a dog laps, you should set him apart by himself. Likewise, everyone who gets down on his knees to drink. And the number of those who lapped, putting their hand to their mouth, was 300 men. But all the rest of the people got down on their knees to drink water. Then the Lord said to Gideon, by the 300 men who lapped, I will save you and deliver the Midianites into your hand. May Lord add a blessing to the readers, to hear, and the faithful doers of his most holy and righteous word. For a few minutes today, a spiritual victory delivery. A spiritual victory delivery. Now, when you start thinking about a delivery, you're talking about something that's coming to you. And what you've got to start to recognize very quickly today is what victory really symbolizes. Victory symbolizes triumph over challenges, over sin, over spiritual warfare, over things that allow us to live beyond. And this victory will allow us, rather, to live beyond our difficult circumstances. So no matter what happens, if we've got victory, it does not mean we don't necessarily cease from having trouble. It just means the trouble can't overwhelm us. Because of life's struggle, it's easy to feel overwhelmed and get caught up in the weight of our problems and fail to live on in spiritual victory. So many times, a lot of people stop living at the place of the struggle. They pause in their victorious walk at the place of the dilemma. And there's something to be said about people who stop at a place that a door is still wide open. And so God still has so much for his people, and there's a wide open door to the victory God got for us, yet for some reason we pause at the threshold because of a problem that we face. Something you had a hard time going through could still have a negative effect on you today. If you're not careful, you're around here verbally claiming you got victory in certain areas of your life, but visibly it don't look like it. Look like you're living in a spirit of defeat. The hard time will show up in your actions. Hard times will show on your face. It'll show in your attitude. You'll be surprised that people don't realize that face get them away. Yeah, they face, what's wrong with your face? Right? People's face will give, your actions will certainly give you away, but just because you say you got victory, just because you say you all right, don't mean you all right. Right? Claiming victory, Lady Angel, based on church house phrases, Tyrone, and all these cute cliches. It sounds good, Joyce, until we test it. Yeah, claiming to be too blessed to be stressed. It sounds profound until you get tested. Yeah, claiming to be blessed and highly favored. Sound good until you have to go through a test. Saying you don't look like what you've been through, for most people, it sounds good until you're tested. Until you have to be tested. As a matter of fact, somebody going through some tough stuff right now, but I want to encourage you to get ready for a spiritual victory delivery. I believe that God is getting ready to deliver victory in your health. He's getting ready to deliver victory in your family. He's getting ready to deliver victory in your finances. You need to manifest it out of your own mouth. I'm not going to sit up here and try to decree something in your heart that you don't even have the faith to believe for yourself. But somebody dealing with some struggles in your marriage, something's happening in your finances, in your family, and you need spiritual victory. Some of y'all dealing with sin. It's some strongholds that still have you bound. Let's not act like we don't have some stuff that we need to get over. You need spiritual victory over every plot of the enemy so you can be everything God wants you to be, so you can go everywhere God wants you to go, so you can do everything God said you can do, so you can have everything God said you can have. I need somebody to open your mouth to declare, I don't care what the enemy trying, God gonna deliver my victory. And I need somebody to have the heart to say, I got a perpetual praise right now, because when I think about what God can do versus what the enemy is trying, I got to give him the glory, because God consistently ensures that no matter what I go through, I still live in victory. This is for the people who know that you ain't walking around in life today victorious because you ain't got no trouble. This for the people who know that despite your trouble, you still got victory. Because you know that God has got a plan for your life. You'll notice in the text that there's a man here by the name of Gideon, and that there's 7 years of oppression that the people had been dealing with, and God started to cry, and the people started to cry out to God for relief. And so God sent word to Gideon. Watch this. He said, I'm going to deliver spiritual victory to you over the enemy. But here's when it gets interesting. Now keep in mind, God said he was going to deliver the victory. I mean that God promised that he was going to make a way. Y'all got to pay attention. God said, I'm going to deliver the victory. And so tell you what that means immediately is, if you even got a thought about what you're going to do for your victory, get rid of it. Tyrone, y'all missed it. Y'all missed it early in the message. Let me go back and show you. God said, Gideon, I'm going to deliver you the victory. And so right there, church, is where you got to start thinking that, okay, I got to start adapting my behavior to God's plan of action. Because he said, Kenny, he gonna deliver victory. And so here's what Gideon did, Tyrone. He took it upon himself, George, to gather 32,000 men. Now, Gideon, he had a good thought, Brother Lacey. He was looking at the enemy. He was looking at the Midianites. They had way more than 32,000 people. But Gideon felt like, man, at least I got 32,000 people. I went and got 32,000 men, and you know what? God said he's going to deliver us the victory. I'm ready. And see, Gideon kind of had a good thought, but he missed God's word. He started to think of himself that he needed to gather 32,000 men, and God told Gideon, there's too many folk. I know it get confusing to you because the enemy already outnumbered the 32,000 folk. And now God, Vic, saying, you got too many. And I know you're shocked. And I know it don't make sense. When I looked at it, I kind of paused too. I said, why would God say 32,000 men, watch this, ready to go into battle, who agreed to go into battle? Why would God say that's too many? Well, the answer is in the text. Sometimes all you got to do is read it. Ain't no need of trying to dance around it. Ain't no need of trying to act like you don't see it. Sometimes the answer, Bruce, you know this, it's right there in the text. God specifically said, I'm doing this because I don't want Israel boasting in their own strength. Sometimes the problem is just simple as that. You boast too much in what you can do. Look at the car I bought. Look at how educated I am. Look at how I did this. As if you forgot if it had not been for the Lord who was on your side. You would have been swallowed up in the stuff you claiming victory over. God wanted to prevent Israel from boasting in their own strength. And some of us love to take credit for stuff that ain't got nothing to do with our own strength. Listen, I don't want you to get confused. I'm glad you made it. I'm happy that you got it going on. Listen, I'm not a jealous person. I ain't no hater. I'm glad you're doing well. I'm glad you all that in a bag of chips. I'm glad your family thriving. I'm glad you smart. I'm glad you sexy. I'm glad you cute. I'm glad you got a bunch of money in the bank. I'm glad you got several revenue streams. I'm glad you're successful and all that good stuff. But if God wasn't in the picture, oh, y'all ain't going to let me preach. If God didn't do something to help you get to where you are, you wouldn't be where you are. You got to understand that God delivers the spiritual victory based on his presence and his power and based on his plan of action. And it will often contradict our own methods. When God starts doing something, it's going to contradict sometime a lot of what you call yourself going to do. I'll show you. The spiritual victory delivery process will require us, here I come, to check the courage of our crowd. It's in the text. God said, Gideon, you got 32,000 folks. And I ain't even finna press you right now. The first thing I want you to do is just turn around and ask all y'all who scared, go home. We ain't got to take no long time doing this, Miss Loretta. Let me go and get this. Let me get this part out the way. If you scared, go home. Now you got 32,000 folks, and the Bible says 22,000. They said they were ready, AJ, but when they asked them were they scared, 22,000 of them turned back. Y'all ain't gonna like me because y'all gonna think I'm picking on you, but there's some scared folks in your circle. Okay. You trying to win, y'all ain't gonna like it. You trying to succeed with scared folks in your ear. Y'all, I really didn't want to do this. You got a battle that you're dealing with right now, and I know that your family, again, I ain't trying to hurt nobody. I ain't trying to pick on nobody. I know that's your family. I know those your friends. I know you thought certain people could handle your struggle. You thought the bishop could handle your struggle. You thought the elders could handle your struggle. You thought your mama, daddy, sister, brother could handle your struggle. You started to lean on all these folks, and at this moment, God saying, you can't depend on them. Because they too scared to have the spiritual faith that you need to make it through what you're dealing with. They see your condition and they scared for you. Watch this. God trying to do something in faith with you and they pitying you. And what you're doing now, Sister Calhoun, is you're accepting their pity instead of walking in your power. And that's how come we get overwhelmed, because we start to suck up the opinion of people's grief instead of walking in the power of God's glory. He said, that's how come sometime when you're going through a tough time, don't call me. Don't try to encourage me, because sometimes your encouragement turns into pity, and I don't need no pity. Y'all ain't got this. Ain't nothing. Sometimes the worst thing you can do is believe God for something and then try to accomplish it by leaning on negative folk support. On scary folks support. Scary folks don't think you ought to be doing nothing. Ain't you ought to sit down. You ought not do that. Well, ain't you weary? Ain't you breaking down? You ought to sit down somewhere. You ought to not be doing nothing. What did God tell you to tell me about my victory walk? You sit down. If you want to sit down, you sit down. But leave me alone. Yeah, Bishop got a way to deal with whatever Bishop got to deal with. But you leave me alone. Because God said I got a plan. I got a plan of action, but y'all got all these scared folks around you. You better not buy that house in this interest rate that high. You better not get that truck in your interest rate that high. You better not try to open a business. Don't you date her. Don't you date him. Don't you go do that. They can see everything for themselves but can't see nothing about what God trying to do through. You want to come preach, Sean? You sound like you got it. You sound like you got it. Your spiritual victory is not determined by the opinion of scared folk. Your spiritual victory is determined by your single obedience to God. God said simply, and I'll give it to you just like God said to give it to you. If you're scared, go home. So now, not only does the spiritual victory delivery process require us to check the courage of our crowd, it requires us to also to challenge the credibility of our crowd. Now, according to the text, there were 10,000 men left. But then God said, Gideon, 10,000. Still too many. Here's what I want you to do. I want to challenge them. I want to see how credible they are. I want you to take them down to the water. I want you to watch how they drink. See, sometimes, Lulu, God will tell you just watch the folks in your crowd. Don't miss it, Tyrone. Watch how they go through before you determine if you can lean on them when you go through. Watch them, watch how they deal with their struggle. And then you put them in one category. Said those, watch this, those who lap from the water like a dog, that means they got their head down and just lap in the water, put them on one side. But now those, Kiara, who kneel down and put the water in their hand and look around and take the water like this, put them on the other side. What's happening here, Kenny, is simply this. Those folks who doing this, they ain't got no focus. Those folk who doing this, check this out. You can lean on them, Bruce, because they alert. You don't need no unfocused folks. Y'all ain't gonna say nothing. You don't need no unfocused folks in your crowd when God about to give you victory. You don't need people who ain't got no focus on nothing but themselves. Watch this. And what they trying to accomplish. All those folks who were lapping like a dog was trying to accomplish was what? Getting them some water. That's all they were concerned about. But those who left it in their hand, they was getting theirs, and they was concerned about what was going on. Y'all ain't saying nothing. Y'all got to have some folk who can say, I know who I am. I know how to fight for me, but I got enough that I can still watch out for you too. Y'all ain't saying nothing to me. You got to have some folk in your life that you can depend on. And I know y'all love everybody, and please don't get me wrong. I don't want y'all to think I'm picking on you. Please don't. But sometimes you don't need unfocused folks in your life distracting you from your focus. You can't stay around folks who still caught up in mess and drama. You trying to go somewhere. You might not like me, but you can't keep dealing with these same folk who doing the same stuff. You kind of trying to still hang out with Player Run, Sleep Around Done, Drop It Like It's Hot Bonita, Secret Seducing Shakita, Shotgun Billy, and Switchblade Willie. They still drinking and smoking. They still partying. You got to focus in your life. And Kirby, they still going to the strip club. Y'all ain't saying nothing. They still get excited about hips and thighs, and you trying to get a breakthrough. Man, if you ain't seen enough hips and thighs in your life by now, you go somewhere else. I done seen enough hips and thighs to fry 15 chickens. Y'all ain't saying nothing. What I'm trying to tell you is that I don't need this junk around my life when I'm trying to get my elevation. I'm trying to go somewhere, and if y'all still talking about folk, y'all still gossiping, y'all still saying the same old stuff, I can't deal with you because you're going to mess up my focus. Y'all keep giving the wrong folks access to your private life. That's why you can't get no victory, because you got the wrong folks with access invading your personal space. It ain't the enemy that you can't see. It's the enemy that you can see. You got them so close to you that it could be you that's messing up your own focus. You could be the distraction that's messing up your focus. You got to stop sharing destiny stuff with wishy-washy church folks and Play-Doh Christians who ain't focused on no spiritual destiny and selfish and can only think about themselves. Send them home. Kirby, my battery got mad at me because I was preaching hard. So you're going to have to change the slide for me. The victory delivery process not only requires us to check the courage of our crowd and challenge the credibility of our crowd, but here it is. It requires us to confidently conform to the victory criteria. This is the hard part right here, Julius, because now you got to say to yourself, whatever God's criteria is, that's what I have to now trust. Can God give me victory with just 300 folk against so many folk? The question you're asking yourself is, can God bless me like I need to be blessed under the conditions that I'm currently in, based on me just believing in him and not trying to interfere with his criteria? The text says that God told Gideon, I'm going, watch this, deliver victory to you with just 300 men. Gideon, I don't see nothing in the text that says Gideon asked him, how you going to do that? I don't see it. I don't see it in the text where he started second guessing God and started trying to say, well, I'm gonna at least ask him this. I'm gonna see if, I'm gonna do this and just call it God, and just I'm gonna do it like this and then say this is of God. No, he didn't do none of that stuff, Casa. He didn't ask all these different questions. All he did was followed the criteria that God set forward. Can I tell you something? God knows exactly how to bless you. He knows just how to bless me. What I love about God is when he delivered a victory, ain't really got nothing to do with nobody else, because he know the plan that he got for your life. I know it's some folks hurting because there's some things going on, but don't let it weigh you down, because God already got a plan. Somebody hurting because close friends turn and walk away from you. It's sad because you thought they had your back, but they left you right when you need. It's not hard to really to get upset with folk because you feel like they said they had your back and they were supposed to support you, but look like when tough stuff got hard for them, things got tough for them, you didn't see them. Why did they wait? If you weren't gonna like me, you shouldn't have liked me when I was wealthy. If you weren't gonna like me, you shouldn't have liked me when I was riding you around. If you weren't gonna like me, you shouldn't have liked me when I was giving you everything, when I was helping you with everything. But why would you finally tell people, well, she just was this way anyway? Well, if I was that way anyway, then why did you fool with me when you looked like you could get something out of me? If I was always like that, you shouldn't have been fooling with me anyway. And so what you just told me was the truth about you. You just revealed to me that you ain't nothing but a user and a manipulator. But that's all right. Don't worry about them. Some people bailed on you when you called them and asked them, can you help me? They lied and said they didn't have it. They lied and said they couldn't do nothing for you. That's all right. Don't get upset about it, because God said I was never going to give you victory through their hands. No way. God said, I was never going to bless your family through their hands anyway. Because, Vic, if I would have let them be responsible for your family breakthrough, they'll feel like your family owed them for the rest of their life. That's how come God said, I don't want Israel walking around thinking that they did nothing on their own. Because they'll be around here acting like some of us act. Y'all might as well just preach it then. Y'all, I'm getting ready to say something because here's what we got to understand. When God delivers the victory to your life, it's going to look like that somebody was crazy. It's going to look like that somebody had lost their mind. Because how is it that God going to bring you up with the stuff you got? How is it that God going to deliver you with the little you got? How is it that God going to take care of you with your way down with so much stuff going on? But I'm glad today, I'm gone now, y'all. I'm glad today that God got a plan for us. I said, I'm glad today that it don't matter what nobody else think. I said, I'm glad today that God got his own way of delivering us out of the things that he wants us to deal with. And I'm glad today that when you think about everything going on around you, you can get ready to see a manifestation of the goodness of God. If y'all don't mind, can you look at your life and see how far God done already brought you? And if you can look at your life and see how far he already brought you, can you at least admit that it had to be God? Because there was just no other way based on what you were going through. Can you at least admit, I know somebody tried to help you. I know somebody probably had the money you needed. But can you at least admit that it had to be God? Because if God had showed up, there would be no way that you'd be where you are now. Somebody about to get victory over stagnation, victory over low self-esteem, victory in your family now, victory in your heart now, victory over your sadness now, victory over despair now. Somebody say victory over the plot of the enemy. Say victory in my mind now. Say victory gonna be delivered to me. Would you lift your hand and say, I'm ready for my next deliverance. I'm ready for my next set of victory. I'm ready for whatever God getting ready to do. I said, y'all do me a favor and say, I believe that new doors about to open. Y'all do me a favor and say, I believe that new windows are about to open. Y'all do me a favor and say, in this season, God gonna deliver my victory in abnormal ways. God gonna deliver my victory when it look like I ain't got nothing, when it look like everything going wrong, when it look like I ain't got enough support. That's when God gonna show up and give me victory. When it look like everything is going against me, that's when God gonna give me the victory. Can I get one witness who will testify that I know what you're talking about, Bishop? Because I've been in a place where I didn't have no support. I've been in a place where people I thought would be there, they were not there. Bishop, I've been in a place where I tried everything I knew to try, but couldn't nobody help me. But then, out of nowhere, God worked a miracle for me. Bishop, I can testify that I was down to nothing, but he showed up just in the nick of time, and he delivered my victory to me after what the doctor said. I know I had no hope, but God delivered victory to me. After I went through a tough time, I didn't have no hope, but God delivered victory to me. When it looked like I was going to lose my mind, delivered victory to me when it looked like I was broke and couldn't find no way out. God delivered victory to me. I need 15 people who will get over yourself. I need 15 people who will get away from your thoughts. I need 15 people who will get away from your education. I need 15 people who will throw your hands up and say, if it had not been for the Lord who was on my side, I wouldn't be where I am. And I want you to say, here I am. My heart is open. Give me another victory. Deliver it, God. Deliver it right now. I need victory today. Y'all ain't saying nothing. I need victory right now. Somebody said, do it, God. I've been crying all night, but give me victory, God. I've been sad all week, but deliver victory, God. It's been rough on me, but deliver victory, God. I know you're able to deliver victory. My family going through, but deliver victory, God. Anybody got a struggle right now? Say, deliver victory, God. Anybody got weariness now? Say, deliver victory, God. Y'all getting ready to get victory in the same place that the enemy thought was going to wipe you out. Y'all can get ready to shout like it's already done. I ain't gonna bother y'all much longer, but I got 15 people. God said I got 15. No, God just told me, Bishop, that's too many. Oh, okay. I got some of them scared. Okay, well, now I got 10 people who are giving you praise. God said, no, Bishop, no, that's too many. Because some of them, they got the wrong focus. They ain't focused on the right stuff. They ain't focused on me enough. So God said, about 3 of y'all go join in with me and give him the glory right now. Go give him the praise right now. I need y'all to give it to him. I need y'all to give it to him. I need y'all to give it to him. Come on, give him the glory. Give him the glory. Give him the glory. Give him the glory. Come on, give God the glory right now. Come on, clap your hands and give God glory. Come on, shout for joy and give God glory. Your victory coming. Your victory coming. Can you shout for it? Can you praise him now? Your victory coming. Come on, open your mouth and give him the glory. Come on, that ain't God who telling you to be scared. That ain't God who telling you to be nervous. That ain't God who telling you to act like you can't make it. That ain't God trying to weigh you down. But the presence of God is in the building right now, telling somebody to get ready for victory. All I need is some people to praise me like it's already done. I'll open a door for them. I'll open a window for them.